So it's about 190 degrees here in the South right now, but for the people, I am bringing you today $1,200 carry gun versus a $200 carry gun. We're gonna see what the big difference is here besides the price. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today we're looking at the $1,200 Spectre comp versus the $200 Taurus GX4. And we're gonna go over pros and cons. We're gonna talk about these guns in pretty great detail. There's gonna be some things that the individual reviews will tell you. So if there's something I miss here, you can go check those out. But the point of this video is to try to cover that $1,000 difference between the two. How much of a difference does it make to you as a consumer? Is this even necessary to go with this type of carry gun at this cost? Should you even do that? And at the end, I'm not gonna just tell you which one I like the best and why. I'm actually gonna tell you if I think that $1,000 is justified. And also, this might be a little closer than you think. I'm gonna try to bridge the gap here and help you decide between these two carry guns. Let's go ahead and get into it. First, we gotta get the sponsor segment out of the way, and it's a good one. Check this out. Personal Defense Network and myself have set up something truly special for my viewers and subscribers here. If you're looking at concealed carry or tactical training drills, trigger control, rifle, shotgun training, armed and unarmed self-defense, home defense, emergency medical, and everything in between, you literally get access to hundreds of videos for $2. That's not 100, not 50, not 20, $2. That's literally 98% off what it would normally be for your first full year, $2 when you use the link in the description box below. My personal link will get you that discount automatically. They have instructors like Rob Pincus and many others to help you wherever you're at in your journey or whatever you want to learn about shooting and self-defense. They have it covered. So if you want to take those things that you learn online, take it to the range, or even do some of the drills while you're at the range, you can actually do that for your first full year at, again, $2. So make sure you use the link down in the description box below. Thank you guys, and big thanks to Personal Defense Network for setting this up for my viewers. Okay, so let's look at the features on the Spectre comp first and take a look at where this $1,200 comes in. So you have a built-in comp on the front of the gun. That's a huge cost, I would imagine, right there as far as the milling, and I am no metallurgist, by the way. So let me get that out of the way, but it has to be more expensive to do all of these cuts. They've made lightning cuts in the slide. So you have that gold barrel and trigger right there. You have stainless steel components. It has a carbon steel barrel, but then of course it has the nitride finish on the barrel and on the trigger. And then on the slide, it actually is stainless steel, okay, with a nitron finish. You have the best set of pistol sights, period. The X-ray sights are fantastic. The contrast is almost perfect. They did a great job there. Of course, it is optics ready. Coming to this side of the gun, you can see they actually did more like a custom style slide serrations in this. So they really took some time here so you actually get a custom style carry gun straight from the factory. So you have the LXG laser engraved grip module on this as well, and overall just a super comfortable gun in the hand. The P365XL was the same way. It's essentially the same size pretty much. You have a super comfortable gun right here and a truly custom gun straight from the factory in the Spectre comp. We're looking at the Taurus GX4. Again, we're not going to cover specs and all that, right? But you have front and rear slide serrations. The gun is more basic. It's a $200 carry gun, right? But they have done some nice things, including the grip texturing on this gun. It feels really good in the hand, very solid feel. The smaller the gun is, the more you want a good texturing on that grip to keep the gun locked in your hand, because you're going to get a little bit more felt recoil, a little bit more muzzle rise, all that, because you have a smaller gun with a potent 9mm round, right? You have a mixture of like alloy steels on like the slide, but you do have a stainless steel inner frame that the rails are on, stainless steel barrel, all that good stuff. Generally speaking, you can tell that this is a cheaper material, and I don't know that there's any arguing that. Again, I'm not a metallurgist, but you can tell generally it's a little bit cheaper of a build here, especially compared to the Spectre comp. Lightning cuts in the slide. Of course, you don't have the built-in comp. No provisions here for an optic. You have definitely an inferior set of sights compared to the Spectre comp. Again, I'm not going to be dogging on the Taurus GX4 the whole video. Just kind of bear with me here talking about the features. They do use quality components. It's not like they're giving you, even for $200 or $300, wherever you buy this from and whatever price you can get it at, it's not like they're giving you a gun that's going to just blow up in your hand. This is a decent, usable carry gun. But from the factory compared to the Spectre comp, it is just a little bit more basic, actually a lot more basic in its features and its design. When I pick the gun up, I hold it in my hand, I point it out, it points very naturally. Again, not a fan of these sights at all. 11 plus 1 in the pipe, so you have 11 plus 1 here, 12 plus 1 on the Spectre comp. First up, we got the Spectre comp, right? Recently reviewed. Check it out here on the channel if you want to know more about it. But we're going to try this one out. You can put your optic, all that good stuff on there, but I'm just running the iron sights for right now. Very controllable, muzzle is very flat shooting, trigger is nice, sights are excellent. The control and the size on this gun, it's one of the best balance, if not the best balance as far as size on a carry gun. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the Taurus GX4. 11 plus 1, let's try it out. I want to say that was my fault. I think I hit the magazine release there, so it didn't chamber the new round. Regardless, you could see those actually first 4 shots were pretty dang spot on. So the trigger on this gun definitely feels cheaper. It's not as good, but for a $200 carry gun, it really has a lot to offer, and accuracy is not one of the things that is missing from this gun. Amazingly accurate gun in the Spectre comp. There's so many more refinements we'll talk about on the table compared to the GX4. It's a pretty incredible carry gun, and it really inspires confidence in whoever's carrying, that if you ever have to use that thing, you know that you can put shots on target, and that's the most important thing. But the Taurus GX4 in its own right is very comfortable. A little bit more felt recoil, but you don't have a compensator on this gun either. So in its own right, 11 plus 1, it's a pretty amazing little package for just $200 in the GX4. Working the slides feels a little bit cheaper, but when we look at the internals, here's your stainless steel frame right there. It's actually really solidly built. You can see you have a dual captive recoil spring, barrel, all of that good stuff. So it's really, you know, at the end of the day, for a $200 carry gun, the GX4, I would say, is built pretty good. If we break down the Spectre comp, right, same type of deal. You have a steel, stainless steel insert, and then when you look here, you got a single captive recoil spring, of course that gold barrel and all of that kind of stuff, right? So you may be looking at this video thinking, well, why the hell is this thing really $1,200? Is it all materials? I would venture to say that with all of the extra milling, cutting, slide cuts, optic cut, compensator that's built in, the sights, the laser engraved custom grip module, yeah, there's quite a bit of difference there in, I'm sure, in production cost and materials. The Taurus seems like a really good and decently built gun, right? The Taurus carries a little bit easier, honestly. It's got a little bit shorter grip, all that good stuff, fine. But there's two things that are unseen here that I have to mention. And one I really can't substantiate, but this I think is kind of just where I see it. This is not things that are just concrete evidence, right? This is strictly my opinion, what you're about to hear. And that is, in 20 years, do I think the Spectre comp will still be firing and work as it should like it is today? I believe the answer is yes. Do I think the Taurus GX4 in 20 years will have zero issues and be firing the way it is today? No. And one reason I would say this is because Taurus has been trying to get past this stigma that they've had with their semi-autos for so long. You know, it's always been like, Taurus, they make pretty good revolvers, but other than that, I'd stay away from their semi-autos. But then, of course, with the G2, the G2C, the G3, the GX4, man, they've actually been making some pretty good guns. So in order for them to make up this difference, again, just my opinion, but in order for them to kind of make ground in the gun community, I feel like they've been putting better guns together, more reliable guns together, and they still have to get them out there at a price point where people are like, okay, this is worth the chance for me to take on that. Because if they put this gun at $500 or $600, well, you just might as well buy a Glock or a regular P365 or a Shield Plus or something along those lines. They know that they would essentially get looked over each and every time. But if they make it so cheap, price-wise, that it's attractive to a lot of people that can afford that, well, hey, you might have something. And then, over a little bit of time, you get a gun that's super reliable, and you start to turn things around at Taurus, and then what you may start seeing, if that happens, is Taurus maybe starts using better materials. Maybe they start doing some more custom stuff, and then their prices kind of go up and maybe eventually fall in line with the other manufacturers. But as it is, Taurus could never do that because they would get overlooked because of that stigma that they hold. Sig Sauer, on the other hand, say whatever you want. They've had issues with the P320, right? They had some issues with the P365 when it dropped, but overall as a company, people trust Sig Sauer. And they know when they're buying a Sig, they're essentially buying a Sig for life. Whether it's their Scorpions, whether it's their Tread rifles, whether it's the P365, the 229, the 226, whatever it is, they know that they're getting a gun that they can pass down through generations, and it's just high quality. And there you go. So there is some real difference here. Now, how much of a difference does that make to you? Well, you know, if you have money to just kind of throw out there and you want one of the best carry guns, period, on the market that has a custom look, you can throw an optic on it and truly have an amazing shooting, concealable carry gun, Spectre Comp's the way to go. It just is. I will trust this gun 10 times out of 10 times over this. I don't say that because I've had issues with this. I say that because I'm still not committed to Taurus fully as a company just yet to say that I would take this $200 Taurus over this $1,200 Spectre Comp would be silly of me to say. But Taurus has really impressed me. And if all you have is $200, $300, again, wherever you get these from and whatever price you get them at, this has to be in the top 5 sub $300 guns I've ever shot. Seriously, just incredible what they've done with this little gun. Assuming that it's still reliable and it continues to run good, I will stand behind that. I do see the $1,000 difference here. I hope that we were able to cover that and I was able to convey that there. But at the end of the day, everybody's budget is different. If this is all you have, go with the Taurus, man. It's been a great option. There's some other $200 to $300 options out there you could go with that might be a little bit better. An original shield, the Walther PPS M2s, you know, another gun, mid $200 to $300. You know, can I say it's unnecessarily expensive for a carry gun? It's expensive, right? But if it's something that can save your life and you want something truly custom, I love this thing. And I'm happy to carry it every chance that I get. Absolutely incredible gun. So there you go, $1,200 versus $200 carry guns. I'd love to hear what your opinion is down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.